What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Christian Kuntz Podcast. Today I'm here with my boys Vinnie and Tre.
What up, what up?
What's going on?
We're going to talk today, a little recap of the loss versus the Cowboys. Pitt football 5-0. Duquesne football on the rise. Have a big game this weekend against St. Francis. Tre had a big hike in the Grand Canyon. He's hurting bad today. We're going to talk on that. I'll kick it off to you guys first. You got any questions for me about the game? I know people want to hear about the game, playing the Cowboys, the atmosphere, the delay. It was a crazy Sunday night football game, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, start with the delay. I'm interested in that.
Very interested.
Take me through what's going on in the locker room, what are you guys thinking? All that.
Dude, so especially we go out at 6:50. The game's at 8:20, hour and a half before the game we go out to start warming up. So 6:50 we're out there and let's put it in perspective. Before that, I start warming up at 6 o'clock, stretching, rolling out, whatever, seeing the chiropractor, whatever guys need to do to get ready. Do a little warm up in the locker room. So essentially, you're working from 6 o'clock till the game didn't kick off till 9:45.
Wow.
So now we're out there warming up 6:50. We get through the whole warm up, and you can kind of see the overcast coming in. It got dark quick.
It looked crazy.
And obviously there are rumors it's going to rain, and specialists know about when it's going to rain, when it's windy, everything. We're looking at that shit. But go in the locker room. We have 5 minutes until we're ready to head back out to for the coin toss and everything. And our guy comes in. He's like, "Hey, it's going to be at least 30 minutes." So guys are taking off their cleats, and we've been through delays before. I don't know if you guys remember last year's game against Arizona. It was a similar situation, delay. But honestly, the delays suck. You get warmed up, you're ready to go, you're anxious, you have the butterflies, and then they tell you 30 minutes. Then they come back in again, it's going to be another 30 minutes. And then by the time it was done, it ended up being an hour and 25 minutes until we kicked off after. So
that's crazy.
Guys just sit there, hydrate, eat food little PB&Js, oranges are around, protein bars, whatever there is. But bro, you just literally sit in the locker room and they're bumping music, and you just wait.
Right.
Guys are in their playbook, guys are looking at their notes, whatever you may be, which is kind of nice. You get an extra hour and a half to kind of look. But the hay's in the barn, the work's done. You're not, you've already studied all week, but just delaying,
Do the nerves go away? Do they after that? I'm sure the first 20 minutes you're real anxious, but then when it's an hour and 25 minutes, you're just all right, dude. Let's just go play football at this point.
They go away. It's kind of weird. You have them, and I think it's just the buildup of seeing the fans come in, the fireworks, the 1 hour drum or whatever, the cannonball that the Steelers shoot off before, and then once you're an hour in the delay, you're all right.
Can we get started?
It's 9:30, dude. Let's go.
Sorry, I just got to pause on this
Go
real
ahead.
quick. Talk about what that's like to be on the field in uniform, being a kid from Pittsburgh on a Sunday night game, the fireworks. I saw those fireworks.
Yeah,
they look
dude.
crazy. What does that feel like, bro?
I just got goosebumps. It honestly, that Sunday night football crowd,
Crazy.
Against Dallas.
Dallas fans, Steelers
Elon
fans.
Musk is there.
Yeah, the history. That was sick. I didn't know he was there. Yeah, he's waving the towel. But the atmosphere, it was packed. And there was a lot of Cowboy fans, obviously. They travel well too. But in those two franchises, historically hate each other.
Right.
Yeah.
From Super Bowl eras. And
This is the 50th anniversary of Super Bowl IX, I believe, which was over that was the Vikings, I believe. Which Vikings hot start again?
Yeah.
This year.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We talked about Flores last week on the show.
I know it's
defense
crazy.
looks crazy.
But to your point again, being on the field and the fireworks, the national anthem, the crowd, the terrible towels.
Crazy.
Yeah, it almost makes you want to goosebumps and you're so excited you're crying, and it's not crying, but you're holy shit,
you crying on the sideline?
No, I wasn't crying, but I'm this is unbelievable. I'm just ready to go. So
I would
amped.
cry. I think I would cry.
You're definitely crying.
100% I would cry.
100%.
Dude, I used to cry coming down and we were 0-11 and I was crying on the way. Those drums, they hit
Coming
different.
down,
I'm
yeah.
I'm going to fire someone up on kickoff.
This man, Vinnie.
No, but it was we finally got the game kicked off at 9:45, and then we were rolling from there. But
Like, how are you warming up for that, though? Like, because I remember we had a rain delay against Oklahoma State that was like an hour and some change against Mason Rudolph when he threw for almost 600 yards. Wow. Yeah, it was crazy time. So during that time period, though, bro, like, getting warm again or, like, getting warmed up again, like, is low-key difficult because you've already gotten cold. So, like, what are you doing to warm back up?
Dude, so then so normally, obviously, we got an hour and a half before, so we have an hour and a half to warm up. But with the delay, we're in the locker room for that hour and a half. Then we come back out, and they're like, you have 12 minutes. The whole team. Both teams on each half have 12. You know, the field's obviously split in half. You have 12 minutes. So now specialists are on. We're on Dallas' side trying to snap, hold, kick to get the win from that side, trying to punt from both sides into people. It's just kind of like
it's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. And for me, like, I'm starting to learn, you know, the further on I get in my career, like, I don't need to snap as many balls as I used to. Like, I don't need to snap 100 balls before warm-ups. Like, if I snap 10, 15 balls and, you know, I feel warm and I feel good and I got my mojo going, like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to sit there and snap and keep, like, wearing myself out, almost like wasting your good shots. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, you're probably like the closest thing. Like, you just get into a flow state.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just muscle memory. That's better than more reps.
100%.
Right? Like, if you're just feeling good,
you gotta go with the flow.
Yeah. That's like what it is. Like, sometimes, you know, I obviously like to end on a great snap before I'm warmed up. And now I'm like at the point where, you know, I snap a couple balls on the sidelines and I'm good. Like, whatever. Like, it is what it is. It's done. The work's done. I know what I'm doing out there. So, but it does suck for those other guys to get, like, re-warmed up, and especially the kickers, runners. Like,
I've been through a few rain delays, like, you know, playing college and high school. There's always that one teammate in the locker room that, like, can't, like, they're doing something crazy. They're doing too much.
Right, way too much.
I don't know if you can name anybody, but, like, who's those people in the locker room that you're like, bro, will you just chill? Like,
yeah, I don't really know. I try to kind of, like, I'm in one corner. I kind of just try to stay to myself. Like, especially on game day, guys have their own weird shit they do and weird ritual. Like, I don't really mess with anybody on game day. Normally I mess with everybody every day, but not on game day. Like, I stay clear past. But there are guys that you're like, dude, you've been here since, you know, 5:30, 4:30 when I got here. You were warming up. You're still warming up. We still have 4 hours of a game. Like,
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, drinking coffee.
Tired.
Like, we're drinking Celsius at, like, coffee. Guys are having coffees at halftime. Like, bro, we're tired. So then you get crazy. I know. Like, I split a Celsius with Boz at halftime. Halftime was like midnight.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I didn't, like, go home. I couldn't sleep.
I'm about to say, you drank a Celsius. Like, what are we doing?
You said you were up till like 5 a.m.?
Yeah. Couldn't. I never really can sleep after games. And then obviously when they finish at 2 a.m., I ain't falling asleep. So I was up till 5. I had to rewatch the game and fast forward some plays and some stuff on TV. But
did you see the stat that Dak Prescott's the first quarterback ever to throw 2 touchdowns in the same game but in different days? Because he threw it before midnight and then threw one afterwards. So first ever. Like, what a weird stat.
I saw that. That is a weird stat, but it is kind of cool. Like, we played a game on 2 different days.
Yeah, literally. Like, that's wild to think about, actually.
Yeah,
bro, that's a long time to wait for anything.
God.
Like,
anything.
Think about it. Like, what are things you wait for? A roller coaster, like shopping. Like, dude, 4 hours.
4 hours.
I'm not waiting for like that. I'm like, I don't care how good it is. I'm not waiting that long,
bro. And then the finish, like, to lose too. Like,
I know that hurt.
Yeah.
On the play, like. E-Rob's play, I know, we talked about it briefly, but that dude's like one of the most fun football players to watch.
Did you say he's your favorite football player?
Yeah. I wouldn't tell him that to his face. He's a true football player. Like, he's a middle linebacker, pulling guards. Mm-hmm. He's shortening their necks. Like, he's right downhill, not shying away from anybody. He does not care. Yeah. And, like, that second to last play, I guess, when he jumped over the line and put his fucking face mask right on the ball.
It's crazy.
Caused a fumble. Like, bro, I was telling you guys, from the tight view on our iPads, like, I watched that play, no joke, probably 100 times. I would just rewind it. Like, this dude was like triggering, snap, downhill, 4-yard dive, boom.
Imagine how much film he had to watch to really know where the run is going. Because I've seen like Luke Kuechly's and guys like that who like can name out like he's going to the right.
He's coming here.
He's coming here.
Do you think that was that, or do you think he's just that big of a freak athlete that he could just make that reaction?
I think he knew, like, he studied some sort of film. Like, he knew they were kind of running some sort of whatever inside zone or duo right at us. Like, they knew that they were going to try to run that in on us.
Because you just don't make that play, bro. Like, you have an understanding of where the ball's going, in my eyes. Anyway.
Yeah, no, he knew. He knew
Read
it was
from the start.
Yeah, and he triggered, and he was like, he did not hesitate. It's kind of cool to watch it. Like, you see E make the hit, and then like bodies are like Minka was doing the same thing, dude. Like, Minka was flying in there like a madman.
He's a freak,
and E just beat him to the punch. So like E hit him, and then like Mink's body's flying, and like Cam's body's flying.
Like handoff, and I just look up, like.
It's like a bunch of guys flying.
And Minka are just like Brian Dawkins like sprawling at me, dude.
Like flying at
Let me tell you a story about Mink.
Crazy.
So I met Mink in 2014, 2015. And we're playing 7-on-7 football in Las Vegas. We're on the same team as him, his boy Brandon Wimbush, and a couple other guys, and myself. I watched this man, Minka. First of all, I'm playing safety, and Minka's playing corner. He's not playing safety at this time.
He played corner.
Yeah, bro. And he was locked down corner. He was in the boundary, bro. He threw this man so hard to his sideline, his coach caught him.
Damn.
Bro, I'm being serious, bro. Like, it got to the point where I was playing safety, and I would just look at Mink and just turn my back to him. Because I knew.
Help that side.
This is shut down.
Yeah.
I'm going to help over here. This dude ain't getting off the line. So
it's honestly kind of what it's like, too. Like, with Minka in NFL real life right now. Like, dude, quarterbacks legit don't throw it his way.
Can't.
And then people bitch. Like, people say shit on Twitter. Like, I'm on Twitter. I don't. Just because I'm from Pittsburgh, all my followers are from Pittsburgh, and like I see the tweets and all the rat poison that they put out there. But like people saying Minka doesn't have an interception in whatever how many games. Like people are so clueless crazy about how much he does for our team and how fucking good that dude is.
Put this in perspective.
He's unbelievable.
I hate when people come at safety specifically, is because now imagine being in the slot, right? As a safety, you're lining up against a slot who's running a 4-3 and has open space to run anywhere he wants to go.
And you're 12 yards from him to start.
And then you have to stop him and possibly pick the ball off. Yeah. So to the couch dad that believes that Minka should have an interception right now, take your fat butt out there and try to make it work. That just pissed me off, because I'm not going to lie, bro. I've watched Minka kill people. Like,
this is
murder people.
Yeah. This is post-Canyon Tre mentality right here.
Oh, it's over with, bro. Everybody got to deal with me. Everybody.
Cranky today.
Yeah. I'll be cranky too.
And then like we were saying, just get the loss, man. It's
hard.
It sucks, but it's a long ass season. We're still 3-2. We've been, the NFL season's so long, like
it's very long.
You better get over this loss, because we got to get this next one.
Trip out to Vegas.
Yeah, trip to Vegas coming up. I'm excited, dude. That stadium there is, I don't know if you guys ever been there.
It's a real deal one.
It is unbelievable. They have grass indoor.
Did you go when we were out there?
Yeah, I did. It's a very beautiful stadium.
It's like the coolest vibe. Like, bro, it's unbelievable, that stadium.
You buy like a bottle for like $100,000. Like, they have 6-figure bottles. Like, crazy.
Like six-figure bottles.
You could be buying bottles for.
Now, here's the thing, though. When I went there, I didn't get a chance to go in it and to see it. Like, I walked around it. But just the actual, like, feeling of it, bro. Yes. First of all, it's massive. And then second of all, like, just the pure beauty of it is crazy. Like, it's actually like a very smooth architecture that somebody put a lot of time and a lot of creativity in.
I love the look of it.
I was just about to say that.
It's so pretty. It like matches the branding of the team too, which
it's
I think
matte
is
black all the way around.
It's crazy, really bro.
It looks like a planet. Like, it looks like it's like a planet.
Death Star.
Yeah, it does.
Star Wars reference if you ain't.
But we got to get this next one. So team will bounce back. We got a work week ahead of us.
I wanted to ask you about like the rivalries, because so they were showing for the Cowboys and Steelers, like the old school players. I don't remember who it was that was talking about it, but they were talking about that like matchup. and the dude was getting pissed off in an interview, and he's like 75. So like, is there like, do you feel like the rivalries are like that crazy still? Like, is there teams that hate each other that much, and do you feel it in the locker room?
Yeah, there's definitely rivalries amongst your division opponents, and then for us to play the Cowboys, obviously it's like a little rivalry just because of the past, and obviously we touched on that, and we made it aware to like guys in the locker room and in the building of like how important this game is, because not because of us, like we didn't do shit about the 1970 Super Bowl or whatever, but those guys from the past, those Steeler legends, like you think they didn't want us to they want us to whoop the cow. Like I mean I do, and and I know like Cam gives like his pregame speeches that are like they fire you up like before the game, and like he just puts into perspective like how important it is. And he touched on that, like, we didn't have anything to do with that, but those guys that played before us that put on the black and gold, like, you don't think they want us to come out here and whoop the Cowboys' ass?
That's a
like,
fact.
They hated the Cowboys, and the Cowboys hated the Steelers, rightfully so.
Right.
So it was important. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps again.
Yeah.
But like it did mean something, and there was like a little bit of like this is a bigger game than just a regular season game.
Yeah, these dudes would run Oklahoma's in a retirement home right now. Like with the way they were talking, I was ready for them to start cracking.
They'd probably like old Cowboys and old Steelers would probably fight each other. Like they would go back and fight each other. They would probably be like, "Let's play right now. Get the 70-year-olds guys that you want, and we'll just play now."
But did you ever hear about how like Dallas became America's team? You ever hear about that?
No, can somebody explain this to me? I don't understand this.
Yeah, I don't really. I don't really.
So
know
the story goes. I think it was like the Steelers and the Cowboys were like battling, all these Super Bowls back in the 70s. And there was like a push from the commissioner of the NFL, I think, to make Pittsburgh America's team because they were winning all these Super Bowls. And I think Mr. Rooney was like, nah, fuck that. We're Pittsburgh's team.
Right.
And then the Cowboys just assumed the title of America's team.
Well, that's just how we
roll. But they offered
roll.
it to Pittsburgh first.
We ain't want that because that's not how we move.
Yeah, I think that's hard because
that is kind of sweet that the chief came out and said we're Pittsburgh's team.
Yeah,
like,
period.
Dude, that sets the culture for like the whole franchise
for the rest of its
straight
eternity.
Up. Like, nah, this is a Pittsburgh thing, dude.
I like that.
We always talk about Pittsburgh and like how it's just different, like the pride here.
It is different.
It is badass.
It's super different. I'm not gonna lie.
It was cool though, like seeing all the Cowboy fans. Like they travel very well. And like just the Cowboy Star, like the Cowboy Star is sick.
Iconic,
I'm not gonna lie, it's like it's an icon.
Yeah.
And then like for them to roll out in their white jerseys or their sleek gray pants, like their uniforms are sick, and it is like a little aura about the Cowboys. Like they got a little cocky swagger to them, which is what comes with playing the Cowboys. A little showmanship, like it's the Cowboys.
But see that type of shit, like I don't know about you when you like I'm saying how you play, but when I played, bro, like. That used to piss me off. Like certain things, like I don't know what it is about Pittsburgh, bro. Like there's something about Pittsburgh people that we're just gritty ass people, bro.
Like just
arrogance. We don't like arrogance. We don't like nobody coming in here acting like you run shit. Like if you run shit, you gonna have to show me. You gonna have to show. You gonna have to show me you bought it. You know 100%.
What I mean? No, I agree. But what the hell can we? It almost like trickle. It's like a trickle down effect. Like Jerry Jones, their owner. He's a showman.
Right.
The guy, he's a businessman. He's a showman.
Right.
And like it almost like carries down to his team, which is it's kind of sweet to see. Like, the owner acts like that, and he's outspoken. He's in the media. He's real about like
he's hilarious.
Yeah,
he is hilarious.
The Cowboys, and then his team comes out and they got this little cocky, arrogant, swagger about him, and kudos to them, man. They won.
They played well. Now, my question to you is there any team that you really see, like, the locker room change and get fired up for? Because I know this one, like, it's an NFC team, and we do have a rivalry with the Cowboys, but, like, who's the team that y'all really like, nah, bro, like, it's all smoke?
Every division game.
Really?
Cleveland, Cincy, Baltimore. Every one of those games are, like, a little more amplified in division. They hate us. We hate them. They know it. We know it. Everybody knows it. Like there's no hiding it that they hate. I know Baltimore tells their players like you're not a Baltimore Raven until you beat the Steelers.
Damn.
So I learned.
Wow.
Like they're not a Raven. They're not considered a Raven until they beat the Steelers.
I think we need to implement that as well.
No. For me, I'm like I kind of hate that. I'm like, so what are we? Their big brother? Like why is that a thing? Like why can't they say not about Cincy or Cleveland. Like,
Right.
I mean,
it's the same thing. We're both division opponents.
yeah.
I get it. We were top dog in the AFC North for a while, and they probably were like, we're chasing Pittsburgh. But now it's like, dude,
Bro, it's got to feel good to be hated.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
got to be.
yeah.
Feels good.
yeah,
Not
but-
always, but
Vinny still hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
dude, let's talk about you. The Grand Canyon this weekend.
Yes.
Just take me through. So last year, just for those watching, last year I hiked the Grand Canyon. We partnered up with a local nonprofit. It's Aurelius. So they do these hikes, and you can get sponsored, and the money goes to helping like veterans with physical therapy when
Pretty
they've been
sweet.
cut off of like insurance, and they can't get the help they need. So it's actually right across the street here in Wexford. But they raise money and they go on this hike every year. So I went on it last year. Dude, one of the most difficult things I've ever done. It's 26 miles.
It's
right?
it's 24 miles, but it's really like 28 to 30 miles.
It's a lot. Rim to rim, Grand Canyon. I didn't train last year for it, and I learned on the way there that was it's not just a casual hike. Like this is a
Dude.
all day elevation, crazy change. My friend over here, he obviously works out a little bit more than me, but no training as far as like long distance hiking. I would love to hear
Yeah.
your takeaway.
How are you feeling? How's your body
My
feeling?
body hurts.
Because you did it yesterday, or did you do it
2 days ago.
Sunday?
I don't even
3
remember. I'm
days
not
ago,
gonna lie.
Saturday.
3 days ago, Saturday. Yeah.
You're probably still hurting. Did
I
you have
am.
special shoes?
You just had hiking shoes. You feel
Yeah.
me? But like ultimately, bro, like I'm not gonna lie to you. That was by far. I've played a lot of football in my life. I've done a lot of like camps. I had 2-a-days. That was by far the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Like not even close. Like
It's crazy, bro.
it's in the crazy trip. And on top of that, right, I'm terrified of freaking heights.
Bro.
Like terrified, bro. Like when I say terrified, like there's at least twice where I thought I was gonna pass out. At least twice.
What's the craziest thing you saw in the canyon?
So listen, we're moving through the canyon. This is how my day starts. First of all, we only got 4 hours of sleep. 4 hours of sleep to hike however long you're gonna hike, right?
And just to set this up too, it's a 5-hour plane or like 4-hour plane ride. Then you get on
A bus for 5 hours.
5-6 hour bus ride to the
And
canyon.
then you walk.
And then you sleep overnight you get like 3-4 hours, and they wake you up at 3 a.m. and you're in the canyon. Like it's pitch black when you're going
Can't
down.
see anything.
So
Can't see not a damn thing.
just setting the stage here. 'cause
Like, he's setting the
nobody
stage
set this
perfect.
up for me. I learned it on the path.
Bro,
what I was.
it's 40 first of all, nobody thinks Arizona gets cold. Arizona gets break, by the way. Like 40, it's like 40 degrees, maybe closer to 30 degrees in the morning, right? And we're there at 3 a.m.
It's freezing.
And
freezing.
what's wild is the top of the canyon is 30 degrees, and when you get to the base
It's
by
108.
like noon, 120. So like you have to pack, and you
Pack
can't just
smart.
bundle up.
No, you have to pack smart. Like dead ass have to pack smart. Like 'cause if you don't, either going to be too hot and you're going to overheat, or you're going to be too cold and you're not going to make it down. So we're about 12 miles going down, just going down a mountain before you even walk across to go back up a mountain. So as you're walking down, bro, there's this guy who just had an attitude. Now, if you know me, like I don't do well with people that have attitudes. I just don't. Like I'm just not a good person. You know what I mean? I just don't. So mind you, I only have 4 hours of sleep. My black ass don't want to be here in the first place, but I'm here now, right? Like I'm here. Like I'm here. I'm in the game.
Yeah. You're doing
As we're
it.
about to go into this canyon, this man catches an attitude coming out
With you specifically?
with just with the group. That's 3 people. Me swinging, and there was somebody else. Split moment. This is a split moment. I thought about just kicking him right over the edge. Right?
See you later. Bow.
Like it's over with. And he probably just got done with the whole other side of the rim. So like I get it. But as we're going down, I think the most craziest point for me was there was this piece of the trail, right? Like you're on the side of the Grand Canyon. You're on the side of the mountain, right? So if you fall, it's wraps. Like you're dead, guaranteed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's over with, bud. So like there's this one piece, and our guide in front of us was like, whoa. I guess like a rock fell off and broke off half of the trail, like
Oh,
completely broke
shit.
it off. So like you had a thin line to walk to get over it. So like when I tell you, mind you, I just told you, I'm terrified of heights. And I'm seeing this. So now
You're
I'm
like,
asking
nah.
myself, why am I doing this? Like it doesn't make sense on why I'm even here in the first place. Then I come to find out K2 Adventures is who we went with and we ended up doing it with. The guy who owns K2 was like, you know what? I don't think we've ever actually had black people do this trip. like he was dead serious. he's like, I don't know why. Like I'm not saying like they shouldn't or they can't. It's
Yeah.
just I don't think we ever had. It came like in that moment I realized like black people don't do this type of shit. Like, why am I doing this type of shit? So as I'm walking down it, right, I'm in the middle of the Grand Canyon. The one thing that they tell you over and over and over again is what I hate about it is the fact that they're saying going in is optional, getting out is mandatory. Do you know how defeating that is? Think about that. Going in is optional, getting out is mandatory.
That sounds like something Tomlin would say after a tough loss.
It is so frustrating because everybody lies to you about the distance it is as well. Because there's a bunch of switchbacks, there's a bunch of things that you got to go through just to go straight. To be honest with you, like there's times, bro.
There's a part of the hike called the Devil's Corkscrew.
Think about that,
and it's just like
say that
up
out
this
loud.
mountain like this in this like just sun just beats you. It's
say it out loud. The Devil's Corkscrew.
Yeah,
Devil's Corkscrew.
Now, mind you, think about what you just said, right? And you're in the middle of the Grand Canyon with no cell phone service, so you can't nobody save you, can't nobody find you, okay? And then on top of that, right? It's all hills, it's all rock.
How many people a year die on this trail?
So when we were flying out there last year, someone sent me an article that someone had died the day before we left.
Yeah, there's probably
on the trail. And then when we're hiking, dude, our guide was like, "Yep, that's where that guy died." And we're like, "Oh, great, dude."
And just keep pushing, bro.
Like,
there's a couple people I think died on our trip too. I'm not gonna lie, because there was
on your trip.
Yeah, there was like 3 life flights. Like immediately, like off rip. I seen 3 helicopters come in and go out. So imagine the black person, right, who ain't supposed to be here in the first place, don't want to be here. Just being honest, right? I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this, but I'm doing it, right? And you see 3 helicopters bringing people out. In my head, I literally, in that moment, and I'm gonna end with this. The one thing that it taught me, it doesn't matter what you're doing in life, doesn't matter what the goal is. You have to do the best you can with all you can just one time, and then you got to do that and repeat that one more time. And you got to repeat that one more time. Because, bro, it got to a point where literally I was losing no legs and all arms. Like, 0 legs. Like I'm talking about, like...
You ever use walking sticks?
Yeah.
Like, going on a hike? Like, you don't realize how much
pain
that helps. I couldn't have done the hike without those.
Without the sticks?
Without the sticks.
This was crazy.
Yeah.
I probably did 50... I'll say anywhere between 12 to 15 miles without the walking sticks.
Really?
Like, because I did the Devil's Corkscrew without the walking sticks completely.
Oh, wow.
I did the whole way to Indian Garden without the walking sticks. And then I did like the first half up to the 3-mile mark without walking sticks. Because they said like on the back end, like the last mile and a half, you're using all of your arms. So what I did was I was trying to rest my arms so they could be fresh, getting the rest of the way through. So my legs were cooked, but my arms were really just dragging my legs at that point, and I was good to make it through. So I made it through, but I was
gassed.
I was gassed, bro. I was fucked up. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Those hikes are no joke. I did a hike in Arizona, Pikes Peak or Pikes
Yeah,
Post.
they were talking about it.
Yeah, I did it. It was not 30 miles. I think it was like 2.5 miles up, 2.5 miles down. And bro, there were times where like you're on rocks and you feel like how am I gonna get up here? Like you're like,
oh, you were climbing.
Yeah, we were like legit climbing.
Oh, that's different.
That's different.
This is like
this is walking.
This is like
it's
a legit
path.
trail.
There's a
It's
trail
path.
that goes from the north to the south rim, and if you just stay on that trail, the biggest thing that you have to like overcome is like steps, like large steps, but
huge stuff.
they're huge. Like some of them you have to like actually
onto the
step up
table?
and like
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Like-
that high. Well, maybe some of them.
No, there's at least
Like
there's
massive
a couple.
rocks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a couple.
Yeah,
And we swam in the Colorado River. That was pretty cool.
that is cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Easily could have been. Yeah, I mean, like if you get in the wrong area of the Colorado River, see you
see
later.
ya.
see you later.
You're wiped away.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Bro, this is
It was
a
cool.
weekend for milestones, racial milestones.
Bro, we were winning, bro. I don't care what nobody got to say. My man Swing might have tore his MCL or something along those lines and finished it.
There's another racial milestone that I'd like to celebrate today.
Well, getting out's mandatory, so he had to get out.
He had no choice.
What do we got here?
Yeah, listen to this. This is a great stat. Now, do you know who that is?
Wow.
Seahorn.
Seahorn.
Jason Seahorn.
Isn't that like the first white DB?
Well, definitely not the first, because there was, I feel like, a period of time when it was
Jason
just only white
Seahorn.
people. in the
Wow.
NFL.
Yeah.
But
now listen to this.
what's the stat line?
I sent this to him.
First,
So,
I'll let you set this up.
First interception by a white cornerback in 22 years. Let's just clap it off for the white boys playing cornerback. I mean, this is monumental.
Is that actually true?
Swear to God.
Riley
And-
Moss, right?
Yes. And the thing is like what we just had. What was it?
He said the
what's
first
dude?
interception in 22 years.
22 years.
By a
yeah.
white DB.
By a white DB. And what was
You know what
White
I hear?
corner. 'cause
corner,
safety,
corner.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there's Harrison Smith and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But No, that was the first. I mean, and he mossed it too. Like he went up there and grabbed it.
He's a freak, bro.
I mean, when I saw that, I would you tip your cap to that. Like you don't see white corners. Like I don't think in my generation, besides the who went to the Eagles this year,
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Well, weren't both those dudes from Iowa?
I'm pretty sure.
What is happening at Iowa?
Yeah, they are both from Iowa.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. DeJean, he's athletic as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like Cooper DeJean is OD athletic.
But
like,
you ain't getting drafted as a corner in the NFL if you don't got. Like
Yeah.
they're not just
First
going to
round,
waste
too?
their pick on. Yeah, they're not just going to waste
First
your
round?
pick on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Those dudes are studs.
like,
Dude,
complete.
All I know is in the last 20 years, every time a white DB plays, there's an interception.
That's because I think they go at the white DB more often than
They get more,
The targets.
they get more opportunities. they were like, "Oh, we're throwing at that guy."
Yeah, the targets are
Let's
crazy.
see
It's
how
like,
much
if,
is
it's
in
like
it.
if you see a guy with a knee brace on, you're getting attacked
Every time.
Like,
No.
there's a DB wearing a knee brace.
You're getting attacked.
Throw at that man.
I
No
really
doubt.
think I only saw one. I think there was one guy that was like a third or fourth like string cornerback that like maybe in like 08 or something like that. You probably recall, but other than that, yeah, no. This is the first one in 22 years. I mean, that
Wow.
is like
That's crazy.
That is
Just
such
for
a
the
crazy
record,
stat.
I didn't buy the jersey this weekend. I've had this for a while. I found this at a thrift store, believe it or not.
Really?
And
he was a baller.
when
Jason
you
Sehorn.
find a Jason Sehorn
That is crazy.
thrifted jersey for
Come
like
on, man.
$6, you don't pass it up.
You don't, man. Shout out to the white guys. The white guys in blue
Shout out
trying
to
to
the
make
black
it
guys
true.
for hiking the canyon too, Trey.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're out here breaking
That's good
stereotypes
camaraderie
here.
right
You
here.
know,
you know?
That's good
just
stuff.
breaking stigmas.
All this election season, division, man.
Yeah.
Let's hike a canyon together and get some white
Get some
interceptions in
picks.
the NFL, dude.
Oh, that is good. Let's hop into Pitt football.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah. Let's
Ranked
go.
ranked 22nd in the nation
Let's
right
go,
now.
baby.
5-0, big win against Carolina.
There's another big game coming up here, though, man.
Who they at home or they played
Yeah,
home?
they play Cal. See,
Oh, yeah, that's right. We said
but
that.
that's the thing, though, and I want to kind of pick your brain a little bit because that jet lag's a real thing, and I don't think people are taking into consideration playing a game on like maybe a 2-day notice to get your body right to go play at a different time period. Like, talk about that a little bit. Like, what is that like? Because I've never experienced it.
Yeah,
Or
I
I
mean-
did and I didn't.
Coming from East Coast to West Coast or West Coast to East Coast, whatever it may be, that's a 5-hour flight, 4.5-hour flight. Like it does take, some getting used to, and then your body's waking up at a different time because like you're so used to waking up at 6 a.m. East Coast time, and then you get to the West Coast and you're like going to bed early, you're waking up in the middle of the night. It's just different adjusting. Like the whole travel, you're not in your normal routine for away games. I guess that's why they say like when Vegas makes point spreads, the home team always gets 3 extra points or whatever. They're
Right.
favored by 3 right off the rip, no matter what. But it's tough, and I'd like to think that like college kids, it might be a little harder like adjusting than pros because we, there's only 53 of us. We have way more attention to us,
Right.
way more stuff available, whether it's treatment and stuff like we're allowed to leave the hotel and kind of get out and clear our mind on away games. I don't know if college.
No, you ain't doing none of that, dog.
Yeah, college kids aren't allowed. Like we go to dinner, we can see family, friends when we
Really?
travel. Where college, like you're stuck there, so guys can kind of lose focus a little bit almost. But
Which one do you think is harder, going to the West Coast or them coming to the East Coast?
It's seasonal, right?
honestly, I would say coming to the East Coast would be harder.
Mm.
Because imagine, like, if you're an LA team and you're supposed to play a Sunday night football game, that's kicking off at 5:30 as opposed to 8:30.
Right.
So now you're coming to the East Coast.
Yeah,
And
that
you're
jet lag on the way back is crazy because
Exactly.
it feels later than it
Right.
really is.
Feels
You know what I
later.
mean?
That's for real.
Yeah,
Your
because when you
your
come
body's
back from a
probably
West
tired.
Coast trip, I always feel like when I get there, dude, I
Great.
can get up at 4 a.m. I'm like
Good to go.
3 a.m. It doesn't matter because it's 7 a.m. This, on
Right.
this side. But when you fly back, I got on a flight at I think 8:30 from LA
Mhm.
and got back. I basically got back, landed, and just drove to the office the next day because you lose
So
the
much,
3
yeah.
hours. It's a 4-hour flight.
Real life time travelers.
I didn't even go
crazy.
home that night. I was like, this is
But hey,
Terrible.
Cal's good. This is
They're
gonna
really
be-
good.
this
That's
is
what
gonna
I'm
be a
saying.
good game. They just gave Miami a real tough game this past weekend. They should have beat Miami.
No, they definitely should have beat Miami, but
Did
Cam
Miami
Ward.
lose yet? Yeah, they got beat last week.
No,
Right?
they didn't.
No,
They're undefeated.
They undefeated?
5-0,
They've
yeah.
had 2 comeback two comeback games.
Yeah, I
so
saw
far.
them down, so they came back last week.
Yeah, that boy Cam Ward, bro, he's a different breed.
He's the truth.
He's the truth, man.
Yeah, he made his Heisman statement, 2 comebacks in a row.
Yeah.
But that running back for Boise State, I don't know if you guys have been, holy shit.
Man, he's running like Adrian Peterson right
Bro,
now.
he has
Crazy.
16 touchdowns in
Crazy.
5 games.
16?
He's already at 1,000 yards.
Over 1,000 yards.
He's
already.
1,000 yards and 16
Wow,
touchdowns. He's
already.
unbelievable.
It's only
Genty.
been 5 games.
Yeah,
That's nuts. In
Yeah.
5 games, you
Is he
did
the
that.
Heisman favorite right now?
I think so.
it's got to be.
He's either the Heisman for him or Travis Hunter's the Heisman
They
favorite. I
were
don't
they
know.
were showing like comparisons to when Adrian Peterson won the Heisman and one other running Reggie Bush won the Heisman.
Barry Sanders, they were showing.
Yeah.
He's already like surpassed.
He's
Barry.
like 500 yards above them
Mhm.
and like 10 touchdowns above them through
Yeah.
the first 5
It's
games
absurd.
already.
Bro, you should see him run. If you haven't seen him run yet, bro, just go and watch some of his tape, bro.
Yeah.
Never the first guy tackles him.
Yeah, no,
Never.
serious question though, and I don't think this factors in as much as people are saying, but they're saying that, and now I don't follow college that much, but the division that he's in, they're like, like this is nothing, this is a wash. Please just shut the people up about that.
Yeah.
Like you
Jesse,
guys.
you got a real hate for
Oh,
these guys.
dude, because they're over here talking like,
Yeah.
it's not. They're just saying like it's not a big
Dude,
deal.
if you do that,
It's
those
like,
numbers at D3,
Yeah.
you deserve a shot at the league.
I agree. I'm
He's
on
still,
doesn't
that.
matter.
he's still playing at Boise State. Like
Yeah.
everyone forgets Boise State's ranked. Like teams come out
Yeah.
of that. I don't know what are they in the
Mountain West.
Mountain West. Like the Mountain West Conference is solid.
It's just
Like,
so annoying. To hear
Yeah,
that.
people are just annoying. Like anyone that's putting up those numbers, dude. Like you're a freak show. Like Vinny said. If
Otherwise, people would have done it in the past. I mean, he's surpassing these numbers at like an
Exactly.
absurd rate. He's playing Madden out there.
Dude, I
And
just want to put some respect on my QB1.
yeah,
First 5-0 freshman to start at Pitt since
Come
Dan
on,
Marino.
bro. I was about to say, bro. Y'all sound
That's a crazy.
Y'all
that's a
saying a
crazy-
Is it
lot. bro.
really?
Yeah,
Kenny
bro.
wasn't 5-0.
No,
Not as a
No.
freshman, no.
that was a
Oh
freshman.
no, as a freshman.
No.
This dude's is he?
He's a true freshman. Well, he's a redshirt
freshman.
freshman.
19
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah, 5-0.
crazy.
And he's playing
I mean,
lights
he's
out.
leading comebacks. He's not just managing the game.
Yeah,
like
they-
he is.
They had that was a tough game against Carolina. Like they were
Mhm.
ups and downs. So it's kind of refreshing to see how they respond that way,
Yeah.
especially for a young like a first year quarterback like him. Like
It's crazy.
he's balling, bro. They're balling. The running back's a stud for Pitt. Reed.
Desmond. Yeah.
Holy
Desmond.
shit, where's he from?
He came with Coach Cade from the college they were at before. He's pretty good, though. He's like 5'8".
I was gonna say he's tiny,
Bro, but you're not tackling him on the first tackle, and he's probably going to hit you with some move you ain't ready for.
Those are the hardest dudes to tackle.
yeah,
by
Benante
far.
had some great catches too.
Yeah, K9 has some good catches. They're playing at a high level right now as
Yeah.
a team, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's like it's not that they're doing anything super elaborate or super special. They're just playing together.
They're playing good complementary football.
Exactly, bro. And it's good to see that, bro, because now you have to go against Narduzzi's defense, which we just talked about Brian Flores, and he gave a lot of love to Deuce before he left the Steelers. So you start to see that type of stuff, and now you have an offense that can actually pair with that
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
Pitt is going to be a little difficult to handle this year for a long period of time, I believe.
They
so,
got this tough stretch coming up right now.
Yeah,
right? They got
Cal.
Cal,
Yeah, this
Miami, Louisville.
but they get Cal, which Cal's going to be a tough game as we talked about. But then they get another
Yeah, they
bye
have
week.
another bye.
Yeah, they get another
Crazy.
bye week.
2 bye weeks in
Wild.
3 weeks. It's
So
crazy.
it's crazy. I don't understand it, but
Good
they
for
get
the bodies.
another bye week, and then after that bye week, it's a tough ass stretch. Like they're gonna have to come to play, which I think they're going to. Like I have big faith in my
Yeah.
boys, but like it's gonna be a tough stretch, man. And it's the first time in a while that I think we started 5-0. If we can get this 6-0 win, I think that's gonna be the first time since like 19 something.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna
What
be.
was?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that year you guys won the ACC. You lost in like week
lost.
3, right?
Yeah,
to
we lost.
Western Michigan, or
I think it was Western Michigan. We lost out the gate to some butt.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, they're balling. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, you said your Dukes are on the rise too.
My Dukes are on the rise. They just got their first conference win against Long Island. Our
Come on.
quarterback's a stud up.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, bro. He transferred from Rhode Island. Darius
Oh, okay.
Prentes. He threw for if you watch Duquesne's football games, like they just look different than the other teams in the conference. Like our
Right.
quarterback play, our offense, like they're throwing 10-yard outs like routinely. Like,
Right.
Routinely, like routine good throws, like that are high level college, like pro throws. Like
Right.
this kid's making them, and it's cool to see. Like spreading them out. Like we'll throw it 50 times a game.
Now, do you think in the NFL, because you're starting to see around college ball, the speed is starting to pick up. Like people are going more no huddle than ever. in a lot of different universities. Do you think that'll start to catch on a little bit in the NFL, like where like you're gonna have to keep up with the speed of the coordinator, because a lot of these coordinators are moving fast
you
now.
see what Washington's doing. The Commanders.
Jaden Daniels is going crazy right now.
They don't huddle.
Not at all.
Well, they like sometimes they'll get in the huddle, but like majority of the time, like if they're going a little bit of tempo, like they're running all off signals. Which I know I saw Ben talked about. Him and Pat were talking about the difference in college quarterbacks and pro quarterbacks and not huddling versus huddling. And Ben was like, Roethlisberger was adamant on guys huddling because he's like, I want to get in the huddle and look at my guys, which this made so much sense, and be like, we need 4 yards here. Like he wants to be able to look at his guys as opposed to signals coming in. You're getting a signal from the sidelines. No one's near each other. 3rd and 4 critical moment. No one said anything. Let's just run the play.
Right.
So like now that hit home on me because I'm like, wow.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. You get in the huddle, you're like, yo, one play right now. We need 4 yards.
That's a good point.
That's why I'm like, I kind of like huddling, but there's so much success and these teams running tempo, scoring so many points.
Now, I think personally the reason why they're doing it is because they're trying to get these college quarterbacks ready as fast as possible these days, and like they're trying to make it more college-like for them so it's easier on them. But like, again, to Tom Brady's point, man, like we can't dumb down things for guys coming up.
Did you see Tom said about Baker?
No, what did he say?
Oh, yeah.
He said something about like, I guess Baker did an interview, and on the interview he said something like, Jesse, help me with it. He basically said like when Tom was here, it was really stressful, and so you could do it better than me. I forget.
I mean, yeah. So basically, Baker was saying like, oh, it was all high strung stress. He goes, I kind of alleviate that a little bit, and Tom Brady's like, yeah, it ain't fun when you're not winning Super or like.
He said I thought the stressor was not having Super Bowl rings, not being stressed out. And he said it on the broadcast of the Buccaneers game, like
crazy.
Really?
Just taking a shot at Baker.
I love it when
I
dudes
love
are
that.
talking like that. Yeah.
You can't say nothing to Brady.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
You can't say anything. I mean, it probably was pretty stressful.
Could you imagine?
He's trying to win a Super Bowl. He's pretty super intense.
Yeah.
But you got to think too, bro. Like, and I mean this with all due respect. Like, even guys in the NFL, some guys don't know what it means to win at a high level. Like, and they just don't. It's not necessarily that they're not capable, but they've never been there before. When you get somebody who's done it multiple times, and he's telling you, this is the sauce, this is how you do it, right? Not everybody understands that. Not everybody's Kobe. Not everybody's Michael or LeBron. You know what I mean? So it's like that's a different type of level of obsession with the game that I don't think a lot of people are willing to go.
We just cannot let that mentality die. I mean, I love watching just savages like Tom Brady being like, I will die out here before I lose,
I love that
or let
mentality.
somebody run
100%.
game over me or something. Like we need that, and like the Kobe mentalities and stuff. Like please don't let that die.
You can't let the opportunities, like winning in the NFL is so hard.
Yeah.
Like winning a game in the NFL, I don't care who you're playing. Like people are like, oh, Carolina stinks, or whoever's 1-4, 1-5, whatever they are stinks. Like, dude, this is an NFL team.
Yeah. Come on.
These guys got the same salary cap as us. Their players are damn good, all of them. People are just haters saying like, oh, their team stinks. It's
got to be so hard for you to like bite your tongue because like your friend groups and like your people around you are Yinzers, dude. Like I know what Yinzers say. Like, and
I've met your brothers and your family.
I'm not in the locker room, dude. I'm not in the locker room, and I listen to my family members talk about the Steelers, and I'm like, bro, you literally don't know anything about anything football wise, and you're so confidently talking. Like I don't know how you just walk away.
So insane.
I met your brothers, and I feel like they're a little bit more understanding than most.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean?
No,
so like,
they are.
I can't say that your family's probably pretty good about that, but like your friends have to be pretty like, come on, bro. Like,
Do you just like not go on Twitter for like a certain amount of time? It's like, dude, I cannot even with these people. Right
No, I do. It's like It's honestly like entertainment for me. Like
Good
I
mindset.
see some tweets of like some of these guys that are, reporters or whatever. I don't know what they are. They run a Twitter account,
in air quotes.
and they they post our film, and they're like, look at this coverage by this guy. Like, dude, they have no idea what they have no idea what coverage we're in, what call it was, what his leverage is supposed to be. So like, the fact that people have Twitter accounts and Instagrams that other people believe and see, and they try to explain football is baffling to me.
Yeah.
So like I'm hop on Twitter or Instagram and I'm looking, I'm like, this is hysterical. Mike T talked about this play. I know what coverage we're in. I know what went wrong here, and this guy is literally telling the complete opposite. Like
Making
he's
a career out of it,
fabricating.
Bro.
My thing was always like,
it's unbelievable.
these guys, these guys, like you guys study this stuff for a living.
Yeah.
You have veterans that have played, coach for 20 plus years. You're telling me that your ass on the couch knows more than Mike Tomlin. Like, come on,
Bro,
dude.
listen,
like, wake up.
I'm a
to
professional
reality,
troll only to people like that. Like if I find like podcasts or something where it's like guys talking about football or somebody's terrible in the league, I'll go in there and leave like a quick little smart ass comment, and I'm like 12 for 12. Like every time I put one out there, I know it's hitting for 1,000. You know what I mean? Like I'm batting average is crazy.
Like, dude, it's such a weird like thing to think about.
Yeah.
Like sitting down, I couldn't imagine sitting down right here and being like, let me break down why the Steelers lost the game.
Yeah, Kuntz, you should have did
And
this.
I know football pretty well. Like I played much further than most people with Steeler podcasts that talk about football X's and O's.
We ain't go. Yeah.
So like. Dude, it's entertaining. That's why they do it. It's entertaining. It's click. People love it.
Clickbait. That's what
it is.
That's what we're in now.
You feed into it. Like people are pissed off. Their Steelers just lost to the Cowboys. Someone be like, you know whose fault this is? Let me tell you. It's like, okay, dude, tell me whose fault it is.
Yeah, thank God you have it figured out.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't get a job sitting on the couch like talking about everything.
I think
we're gonna have a whole segment on just like bashing. Like,
please.
I think making it to the NFL has like, and being in the locker room and like where I'm at in my career, I feel like has made me like I don't know if I'll be a fan after like I don't know if I'll be a fan after football.
No,
like I don't think like I'll watch football obviously, but I don't know if I'm gonna like truly be a fan. Like
I'm not. I'm terrible.
Be hard.
I fell asleep after the first drive.
It's because you're dad.
Did you watch the snap? The field goal snap?
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Alarms.
So
he has alarms for that.
Crispy.
Yeah.
You have alarms.
It's the only updates I get from from Twitter.
Kuntz
It's just
perfect snap on the drive.
I know we talked about maybe having like a shit talking segment on here.
It's so down.
Yeah.
Please.
Wasn't much this weekend, honestly. Not much chat from my end. From my
I'm about to say, come
There's
on.
a little bit. There's a guy actually that the Steelers drafted, Buddy Johnson. If he's a friend of mine, 3 years ago they drafted him, and he dealt with some injuries and bounced around. We released him, bounced around a couple teams, and I'm really happy for him. He found a home in Dallas where he's from, and he's playing on special teams. But he was playing with some vengeance, and he rushes on punt. And Buddy was rushing. Yeah. I'm like in the middle of the play. I'm like, come on, Buddy. I'm like, trying to like me and him were just going at it. And,
right.
After we dapped up, I hugged him. Whatever. It was all cool. But he was definitely playing a little pissed off.
You like that though?
I do. I like it's. They were rushing, and it's good. Like when a team rushes you and you turn it back and you put good shit on tape because. It lessens your chance of getting tested next week.
No, for sure.
If you put some shit on tape, like they see one thing, dude, one missed footwork, like they're finding it and they're going at you next week.
I want to see you jersey swapping with these guys. Like,
I was just going to ask, have you done any
Bro,
jersey
You
swaps?
got to, please.
It's actually hilarious you guys said that because
That's literally what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
You must be saying
I was joking around like I'm gonna ask CD. Like I might just start asking like
Dude, come on.
superstar players.
Bro, you're
like,
just dapping Snoop up before the game like it's no big deal. So you kind of got that pull. You're interviewing Lil Wayne. You're dapping up Snoop before the.
I'm in the rap game.
Dude.
No, I'm pissed at you right now.
Why?
Because why is Snoop not here, yo?
I know.
Like
You're a famous podcaster now, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
You realize that?
You pull him in close. Like, hey, bro.
Dude,
what are you doing Tuesday?
It was sick to see, like, Snoop came out, and I don't know if you guys saw the video, like, he just came out, and he's like,
on the
Money Gang, right here. He like, recognized Boz, like, recognized that we were the specialists. He's like, the Money Gang right here, let's go.
That feels good.
And he is tall as hell.
he's tall as shit. He's like
Dude,
6'4", 6'5".
holy shit, yeah. He came out, and I was like, you want to snap,
I
pull,
saw
kick
you,
right
dude.
now?
I wanted him to say yes. So
He did.
bad.
He was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, let me get that.
That boy come on this podcast would turn everything upside down. Yeah. Everybody here would be high for at least 2 hours and without even smoking anything.
Time out. It smelled like I smelled weed when I was in LA, obviously, and in Denver we smelt it. Like people were definitely smoking in. I've never smelled it in Pittsburgh. Snoop was here and I smelled it during the game. I swear. I was smelling that skunk during the game.
He was like,
Could you imagine Snoop Dogg in Wexford, PA? Like, could you imagine the chaos that man would cause?
Yeah.
He'd be like, 1, 2, 3 to the 4, hit this blunt and open up that door.
I'm not gonna lie,
good,
I didn't
Trey.
know. Like I popped on, Instagram and I saw that we had that post or whatever, and I clicked on Snoop Dogg's profile. Dude, he has 88 million followers.
For sure.
That's insane.
And you didn't ask him to come on this pod. Fuck are we doing, bro?
I was like kind of starstruck. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know, not starstruck, but like it didn't even come to me. I'm like, holy shit, it's
Why don't you just,
fucking
okay, this
Snoop
is the
Dogg.
power of social media. Just look into the camera and invite him right now.
Snoop. I want Snoop Dogg to come on my podcast.
Let's
Yeah,
go,
that's a good one.
please.
We'll clip that up.
Please clip that up. Clip that up, Swing.
No, but that was cool. And then Elon Musk was there.
Crazy.
Yeah, what's that about? That
I guess he was
kinda
here
crazy.
for there was a
The Trump rally.
Trump rally. He was
Ah.
here, and then I guess he stuck around and.
Donald came back to Butler. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. He went back to Butler. Like, you gotta be, I ain't gonna lie. Feel how you feel. But that was a real moment. Like, if you
That's a
gonna come
ballsy
back
moment.
to where you got shot and then stand on business,
That is some G shit right there.
that's some G shit. I don't know too many people who doing that. That's standing on business. Like,
He did come
That's
back,
crazy.
which is kind of crazy. They
That's-
must have. I saw a picture on Twitter. I'm like on Twitter. I hate referencing Twitter, but I call it Twitter X.
Mhm.
And they were like on our Secret Service was actually on the building where the shooter tried shooting him first. It's like, whoa, we're doing it now.
Yeah.
why weren't we there in the first place?
It's
Like,
strategy now.
Where were we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, there's just so many things going on right now, and I don't like talking politics. It's just I'm not
No,
a fan.
me
You know what I
either.
mean? But like ultimately, bro, like I just hope like things like this can continue to be like fun and positive for people, bro. Because like you said on Twitter, on X, bro, there's just so much negative bullshit that's going out
It
these
is
days,
crazy.
and people are not promoting any positivity. So like I'm glad to be a part of a podcast that we have a good time. We like to have fun, and we keep it. You know what I'm saying, simple, keep it light. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, so who you voting for?
Oh man.
But what else are you looking forward to, man? I know we got a lot going on right now. The Steelers are killing it. You know what I'm saying? I know we had a little rough bump, but that stuff happens in a long season, bro. You got 18 games to play. You know what I mean? So what are you looking forward to right now?
Dude, it's cool to just kind of see the evolution of your team. Like, I don't know, like, injuries happen. It's like a battlefield, dude. There's so many injuries, but everybody's hurt.
Right.
Every team's banged up. Every team's hurt. So it's like cool to see guys get called up, new guys get called in the building and just get plugged in and play. And like to watch, like, this is when those stories happen. Like when guys from the practice squad, when injuries happen, week 5, 6, 7, 8, and whenever it's happening, and these practice squad guys get called up, and you're like, the hell that guy come from?
Mm-hmm.
That's the cool shit about the season. That's what kind of like I'm looking forward to, seeing our team evolve, seeing like what guys step up and like
Getting
become
Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see the
Hey,
reaction.
punching closer.
Obviously,
now.
we'd love to have Devontae.
yeah.
I saw-
Everybody
I saw-
would. It's like obvious.
I saw they asked Derek Carr, like, would you like to have Devontae? And Derek Carr was like, dude, there's 32 teams that would love to have Devontae. Like,
Literally
what kind
so
of question,
obvious.
what kind of questions
So
that? Like,
obvious.
we'd all like to have him, but
Yeah.
it will be cool to see, like, what teams you can kind of tell by the trade deadline, like what teams are moving in the direction of 2025
Mm-hmm.
or who's staying in, 2024 and competing.
Can you talk about that? Like the strategy behind this? Because there's a lot of strategy. Like your 2 depth
Bro.
is really where you're trying to get great at. Like I feel like your starters are your starters, right? But you're preparing for one of these dudes to get hurt. So like talk about that strategy. Like how are they strategizing around this?
I mean, I couldn't really tell you from like with a GM standpoint, but like, dude, staying healthy, the healthiest team will win the most games, will win. Like at the end of the day, the team that's the healthiest will win. And like, yeah, there is strategy. Like these coaches have to figure out like who to play in certain situations and like who do you have available
Right.
to like do certain roles. And obviously there's different jobs, even like amongst safeties. Like people think, oh, you play safety, you could just plug into this safety. Yes, but no, at the same time, there's different body types at safety. Like,
Right.
there's a box safety, then there's a middle of the field runner safety.
Right.
Like, there's different body types. So to see, like I was talking about these practice squad guys and guys from the street that we're signing coming in and like playing a role in our offense, defense. Like it is cool to see, our coaches, GM, and personnel people maneuver around this stuff, and like to see all the pieces fall into place.
Right.
Like, holy shit, they just pulled this guy off of here because he's super good at running routes and getting open, and we're struggling. I'm just hypothetically saying we're struggling there, and we plug him in, and he goes for 6 catches, 60 yards, helps us win the game. And people are like, "Who the hell is that guy?" Mm-hmm. It is cool, like to see this stuff.
We picked up Minka was a pickup mid-season.
Right?
One of the best like pickups
by far, which I still laugh at.
That's the power of like you could literally change,
if we got
the next
Devonta,
decade of your team.
Like for example, I know. Remember when we traded Kevin Dotson to the Rams?
Uh-huh.
Like K-Dot was a starter for us. He played well for us and was a solid, offensive lineman for us. And we traded him to the Rams, and different scheme, obviously, different OC,
plays
different
better.
Scheme. Way better. He's like having a Pro Bowl season, All-Pro season last year, Pro Bowl season. Like, so it just shows you, like, different guys, react differently in different offenses, different schemes, and sometimes play better. And it's nothing against our coaches or our scheme, and nothing against their coaches and their scheme. It's just how the cookie crumbles.
Fit.
Yeah.
Perfect example is the Sam Darnold situation. Like every single team player, everybody, it was like across the board, write him off. He's not good, which is again crazy. But now he's just absolutely killing it, and it's just a scheme.
It's funny how we came to like bring that up because Kyle talked about that.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
like last week about how different. You just get put in different situations, and guys like thrive in them. So
could be a living arrangement. I mean, let's be honest.
No,
like,
it could be.
Like some guys, and again, this is why I don't like fans. But ultimately, like people don't take in consideration the multiple variables that go into what you're doing. Like, because they think of it as like do your job. You get paid to do such a high level job. But like these are people who've been secure in their homes, living in the same area since they were freaking 19. You know what I mean? Like so, like. To have guys who move from Arizona to LA to Pittsburgh
with families,
right? Like, and then saying like, okay, go figure out your outside living, but you better come back here and play top level. Like, nobody in their normal lives that are professional in other things move or have to think in that direction as much as a professional athlete at any level, whether it's MLB, basketball, it doesn't matter what it is, but like. That is a hard thing to do, bro, because if your living arrangement sucks and you're not happy with where you're at living, like, you're not going to play well. I don't care who you are.
You're miserable, yeah. Like, I talked to the Chargers snapper, Josh Harris, great snapper, snapped for 10 years in Atlanta, and he was from Atlanta. So it's kind of like my situation. He was playing at home. He loved Atlanta. He has his family, his kids there, whatever. He signs a big deal with L.A. a couple years ago, and I'm talking to him before the game when we played the Chargers, and I asked him, how's your family? Like, how you guys like L.A.? I know you were in Atlanta, blah, blah. And he told me, I'm actually from Atlanta, but, we have our forever home in Florida, and my family stays there during the season. Like, he doesn't even bring them to L.A.
That's hard,
bro. He's in L.A. working, and his family is in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, his kids, his wife, they're in Florida. So, like, that shit's hard on a guy,
You only get to see him twice in, 6 months, possibly?
Yeah, and flying to L.A. is no joke. Like,
it's tough.
People don't understand the dynamics of that stuff alone, and then we're traveling each week. I'm not home any weekend. Like, I don't sleep at home any Saturday for 6 months straight.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and those schemes are so different too. It's like somebody coming into your job and being like, "Oh yeah, I know you've done it this way forever, but now you're going to do it this completely different way." Like, there's that variability is not really in many other fields of life besides sports. So of course these guys are going to either be better or worse in some of these different situations just because some of these coaches are married to how they do
it. Yeah, and that's spot on, especially in the special teams game. Like, we talk about special teams a lot.
We'll talk about that because I think everybody thinks special teams is just snap the ball and go.
There's so many different every coach is totally different.
For sure.
Different philosophies, different styles of rush, different styles of return looks, and how other guys are trying to gain leverage on you, and it's a copycat league. Like, if you see someone doing something that, what I found was really cool this week, and on field goal protection, how the guards tackles, they're real low because you're just getting two guys on you, 600-pound push, trying to block a punt. It's very tough to do. Dallas was, their hands are in the ground in a 3-point stance. They're doing something which is kind of crazy. The ball snapped. I snapped the ball, and they're hitting our guard and our tackles' arms, their post arm.
Oh,
so then they're falling. and people were jumping over. So, like, I don't know if you saw, like, when the Giants blocked that kick, I know it was controversial because they said, you know, you're not allowed to pull and shoot.
Yeah.
Right.
And they
Definitely did that.
and they didn't call it.
Yeah.
So this is all stuff in the game. Like, there will be memos out in the league. I'm sure people are getting notes like, yo, we're going to call this going to be a personal foul. So it's kind of crazy. That was the first time I've seen people knock a hand out.
That's a smart move and tactic,
bro.
though.
Because those guys are so lean forward because
Yeah,
they're about to
bro.
take on so much.
You're face first.
Yeah, right into the ground, and people are shooting gaps.
No, technically, if they do that, though, right? They're not. That's not a push and a pull on a snapper either. So like,
It's not.
So they could get over top technically because
Yeah.
they're going. Wow.
It's actually very smart, and they try to verse us, and our guard, you know, Mason McCormick handled it pretty well, like, which is crazy. Like, all your weight's forward, and you're still
Talk about balance and center
We
of
bleep
gravity.
this part out. We give it away free game.
Well, that's the thing. It's probably just out there like that.
it's out there,
And-
dude. If,
and
it's,
I guess,
if
like-
it's on tape, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You're gonna see it.
if we're seeing it and you guys saw the pull and shoot, like him pulling them, like, trust me, Danny Smith has been watching Vegas since
Last year.
our game ended. Literally, like
Yeah.
Mike T's they watch every play, every game. Danny Smith, no joke, Danny Smith probably watched every single punt rep from Dallas Cowboys for the last however long their special teams coordinator has been there. And then he probably watched the tape from where a special teams coordinator was before and watched that hours and then came and presented it to us. Like, these coaches, man, work their ass off.
Yeah, so I'm
He works
curious
his
though,
ass
like,
off.
because I've seen, and like, I'm obviously pro player, but like there are times where I see like new waves, like the Mike McDaniel's offense, and I'm like, wow, you know, could we apply some of that sometimes, or like, because if you remember the Wildcat era where like, you
That
know,
was
it's the
a big
Ronnie
thing.
Brown started it,
Yep.
and then it just went crazy. Like, are there coaches that are like, absolutely not, this is how I run football, and then are there guys that are a little bit more open, like, hey, see what they're doing in Miami, or see what they're doing
Yeah.
in Jacksonville, like whatever.
There's definitely coaches that are like real stubborn with their ways, which
Yeah,
is fine.
okay,
Like, if
yeah.
their way works, why change? But
Right.
there are, you know, it is like I said, a copycat league. So there are coaches that, you know, they see
Will do it.
an orbit motion with, like, you know, they kept running Ferguson on like a little quick motion outside to get our linebacker to kind of go
Move
to
out there a
see that
little
we
bit.
were in man, then hitting us on a quick slant.
Mhm.
So, like, and then they were running this orbit, getting our guys to move just to hit us in like a hole. Like, people don't even understand that shit about football. Like, all that motion stuff it's all planned.
It
It's
is
all,
planned,
It's
bro.
all like methodically planned.
Are you able to debunk this? Like, so there are like people will talk about when you go into the locker room, okay, and you're at halftime, and they've been running something to start like the whole game. I've heard yes and no to this, that coaches will come in and say, hey, they're doing this, we got to shift, or does that not happen? Like, are you guys like going to the whiteboard in the locker room at halftime?
100%.
Okay, because I've heard yes and no.
That's
I've heard
in-game
yes and no.
adjustments. If you're not making in-game adjustments, and this is just from perspective of not making it in the league, but if you're not making in-game adjustments at halftime,
That's
you're
what I
trying to
thought.
lose.
That's what I
Done.
thought, yeah.
So I love this quote. Danny says it perfectly. He says, you know, high school, they'll fix it on Saturday morning. College, they'll fix it at halftime. The pros, the next play, bro. That we have those
Okay.
iPads. Like, I'm looking at the front on every play to see what they lined up in. Like, they ran a creeper look. They ran a guy from, you know, the jammer came
Right.
and rushed off the edge. So for us, like, to see that we were on the left hash from the boundary, they're coming. Like, we all were looking at that film right after. We're like, yo, if we get this next, I got to hold that snap.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, we got to count him in.
Right.
Now our count's different. Everybody has a different guy.
That's cool to hear.
They almost like caught us in a situation where, you know, we snap it and we're a guy short because the ball was gone and he's rushing from that side.
Right.
So we had to fix that like immediately, and that happens obviously more so on offense and defense every play.
That's what I thought. I just heard some guys are like, no, we stick by this. So you guys are like, for instance, with the guys lining up and slapping the hands, are you guys like, all right, hey, we got to do something to negate that? Like, I mean, I guess you can't really. Like,
Yeah,
get
you
too much
can't
into
really
that.
negate that, but we definitely like were on high alert for that.
Trying to figure it out.
Like, just like if there's a guy that's notorious for a jumper, like he's athletic enough to be in the line of scrimmage and jump over somebody that's like me, like fully just jumping over you. Like, we're alerted to that, and we know, like, hey, alert jumper, this guy's in the A gap. Like, we gotta watch him. Like, we gotta stand up and get him. So Yeah, the adjustments in the NFL are real. If you're not fixing them the next play or the next drive,
You're screwed.
You're screwed.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you're just gonna get hit. So,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, man, like right now, like you said, like there's a lot of new things that are happening, a lot of nuances, right? So like, what is moving around right now that you're seeing from a specialist standpoint that all these blocks are happening? Because I feel like there's always like a new trade that everybody picks up on and they try to implement it immediately.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing something happen for like 10 games and it disappears again.
So, like from the rush game, I feel like it. I don't know how it was. You know, it's always everyone knows how important that extra point is or that field goal is, and I just feel like with how tight games are, guys are really like honing in. Like, holy shit, if we block this kick, like it changes the whole game. Even if it's an extra point, it changes the whole game.
Right.
So, because then you're chasing that 1 point.
Yeah.
7-7 is 7-6. It's different. Then they get a touchdown. We go for 2. We're up 9 now instead of 8 or instead of 7. Like it just changes the whole game. So I feel like people are really honing in on special teams, and you know, you win the special teams 1/3. You know, you win that 1/3, the special teams aspect. You know, that increases your chance of winning by.
You guys have won a lot of tight games just off of special teams plays.
For
sure. In the last few years. Yeah. A lot of division games too.
Steeler football, man, is tight. We went. That is promising about like our team and you know the teams that I've been a part of in the last 3 years. You know we win tight games. We've won tight games, and that just shows a lot that a team's able to come back and you know stay together and fight to the end and win a game.
Yeah,
it's always like promising.
I like that a lot.
Well, cool, man. This has been great. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we head into Raiders week?
Vegas week.
Come on.
Anyone making the trip out?
I think we got a couple people from the office going out, but I'm not going.
I think Brian might be out there.
Brian's going?
Yeah,
there's like a big tailgate that he's gonna be a part of out there
that's
too.
right. He was telling me about that.
Yeah.
No, man, this was
shout out Steeler Nation.
This is good. I like getting in here, chopping it up with the boys. Hit the recap on the game, the weeks, what's to come. We got this Vegas game. We gotta have it. And then I know we got 2 games. Jets and Giants. I don't even know.
That's why we go 1-0. That's how I think about it. You know what I mean?
Well, damn, I appreciate you boys today. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
There it is.
Repost, everything. Season 1, episode 13.
I think this is 13.
13.
Yeah.
Episode 13. We out here next time.
See you later.